Let's try this again in 3, 2, 1. There we go. I'm going to just repeat, this is the first official cast of the Platinum League, just because I hit start recording and this will go on YouTube. So, hello YouTube. My name is Maristematic. With me is Wing Nation.
Hello, everyone.
On the bottom side of the map is going to be wearing the blue health bars. This game will be the Deranged Spartans. In the top lane will be Ducky's minions playing Swain. In the jungle, Noctron will be on Xin Zhao. In the mid lane, Omni Hannibal on Xerath. And in the bottom lane is
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Blue Yes White Dragon. I'm assuming he's going for Blue Eyes White Dragon, and I'm not supposed to notice the Y. But Blue Eyes White Dragon and Orbital will be playing the Varus and Karma combo.
And on the red side, we've got ourselves Random or Keith Likes Men. We've got Badinsko up in the top lane on the Renekton. We've got Pooh in the jungle on the Jarvan. Josh Quest on the Annie in the mid lane. And we've got Sol and Kyo on the Ezreal Nami in the bottom lane. And just to point out, Keith is Kyo, if you're curious.
An important distinction. Budinsko walks into the bush and Hannibal's going to get a little bit of damage done. I don't believe there was a gold swing in either direction out of the result of that, so just a minor annoyance, not game-breaking 5 gold like we'd see if that was the Ezreal Q over the wall. And then I realize fixing one small thing on the stream. There we go. Okay. So we see pretty normal jungle starts, both junglers starting on the right side of the map, meaning that we could see that jungler confrontation at level 2 or 3 over that Scuttle Crab. Yeah, are you noticing anything interesting out of starting items or keystones that you want to talk about?
Nothing crazy out of the ordinary. The Predator Annie is a common pick, but that's always been a debatable keystone choice. But I think it's one we've seen Josh Quest run before in our unofficial observations.
Yeah. Do you have a particular feeling about a Xerath versus Annie mid lane?
Xerath should shove in Annie. Doesn't have exactly the greatest wave clear early. Is irritating, but he's not going to delete the wave until he gets a completed item, gets about that level 9 spike. But eventually he should be able to delete waves and roam and have a bigger impact, keep the Annie stuck in lane.
Worth noting again officially for the YouTube and for viewers, this is our first official experience with the Platinum League this season. I believe Winged has spectated one of the other games. I haven't actually even done that. So, not as familiar with a lot of these players as we probably should be. I know we both have played on a team with Pooh and Kyo, so we have a little bit of knowledge about that. Stun gonna land from Josh Quest. I guess nothing to follow up at level 3 from Annie. Getting excited over nothing. So yeah, some of this might be a little bit rougher observations than normal, but Budinsko's going to go ahead and get aggressive, uses that Call the Meek to stun up, get some nice damage down onto the Swain. This is going to be a really interesting lane. I feel like it's pretty Renekton favored early, but Swain's going to catch up later on.
Absolutely. Also, Budinsko was a huge Swain player back before the rework, and I imagine he put in a large amount of time on the newer Swain. So, well, one, he'll have experience fighting against it, know probably the strengths and weaknesses of the bird. But also, that's going to be probably a contested pick. We kind of already saw a little cheat spoiler and know that he'll play it later. But it should have been a contested pick anyway.
Yeah, Swain seems pretty strong right now, especially into certain matchups in top lane. And then, honestly, the bot lane's kind of an even matchup. You have to think... Oh, never mind. We've got a gank coming in from Noctron mid, trying to land the 3 Talon Strike. The teleport away from Josh Quest. I think he thought he had a different summoner spell than he did there. But that'll be first blood, going over to the Deranged Spartans, and Hannibal's going to be the big benefactor of that in the mid lane.
Nothing to analyze there. He,
I think he thought he had heal or barrier, and he just was clicking to run away. I'm not really sure, 100%, but
maybe he thought he had a cleanse. I don't know.
Yeah, regardless, it'll be 400 gold in the pocket of Hannibal, and he'll get off to that last chapter early back, and should be feeling pretty good on that Xerath in terms of his wave clear, and Noctron making his presence felt on the Xin Zhao pick early on.
Absolutely. The nerfs are so called to Lost Chapter, increasing the gold cost of 1300. Really extended lane duration for some of those mages who previously had just been skating by with the old 1100 cost. So the 400 gold just greatly accelerated his power spike.
Also, just general, because I'm not going to do it again, if there are any plat players, and I know that there's at least a handful watching, if you guys can send me match histories or anything from your games, I'm looking to put together a platinum stat sheet similar to the one for the Gold League. And I just need that information so that I can do it. So if you have any of that available, send it to me on Discord. Thanks. I'm not going to push that again through the series. Now we can go back to enjoyable casting experience.
I almost actually want to jump in on there. Is like make sure that all of the summoner names are actually provided, so we can credit, or you can credit the players with the correct stats.
Yeah, that's worth noting. If you can go, the easiest way to do it is to go onto LeagueOfLegends.com, log in with your summoner account, and then take a screenshot of the match histories for me. It'll have everything there. The screenshot's going to make sure that I can see all of the summoner names, and that we can make sure to get the stats where they're belonging. Budinsko's roaming down here. Summon Tibor's going to lock up Hannibal, but he's got the cleanse and the flash over the wall to get out to safety. You can hear the pings. I turned off the chat because when you get replays from somebody, you're going to see all of the pings from one, or all of the pings in the chat from one team but not the other. It becomes obvious where you got them from, but you can still hear the pings go off. It's kind of funny. So you could hear the pinging down onto the summoner spells of the Xerath, but you can't see them. Anyway, so far, looks like small CS advantage in mid lane for Spartans. Tethered not going to be able to fully connect there from Orbital as he's trying to get onto Soul, but Ezreal's just a little bit elusive. Oh, but Josh Quest is here. He doesn't have Tibbers available, lands the stun onto Varus, but not able to follow that up with anything. So the tier completed now for Ezreal compared to the pickaxe of Varus means that you would think there's a little bit more pushing and aggressive power on the Varus and Karma side, would you not?
You definitely would. Karma already is kind of a lane bully. Nami might be able to sustain through it. Karma with her Mantra Q, always one of the stronger early game laners. And Varus has always had alright pushing power, at least ever since they buffed and slightly nerfed his passive attack speed.
Yeah, they can't seem to quite decide what they want with Varus. Koldameek's going to come through from Budinsko's as he's getting onto Ducky's minions. Hops the Dominus, going to force the ult pop, the Bird Bomb available now for Ducky's minions, and he's going to have to flash away. The power of that Renekton at level 6 with the Conqueror Keystone. You can just see the auto attack damage that he's putting down. But now that summoner advantage in top lane means that we could see a return gank. This is the first time we've really seen Pooh try to get aggressive as he walks down bot. Soul getting the slowdown thanks to the Tidecaller's blessing from Nami, but they're not able to find anything onto Orbital, and Blue Eyes White Dragon both back out.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of Pooh at all. We did see a little bit of an early scrap. I don't know if directed camera really even caught it, but Noctron made at least a little bit of an invade move. On Pooh's first red.
Pooh's still here in the bot lane, gonna land the Jarvan Jacuzzi onto Orbital. Orbital gets bursted down, kill going over to Pooh, and then Solo clean up the second one after using that True Shot Barrage, and that'll be 2 kills being split between the AD carry and jungler of Randomed. I don't think Spartans expected him to still be in that bush.
No, no wards in there. I don't even think there was a pink ward in there, or a control ward. There was not.
Yeah, he had that first initial walk in and then just left vision for so long. It's like, man, he's not waiting still in that bot lane bush. Ultimate from Xerath gonna just clear out the minions, make sure that they can't take care of that turret. Pooh will take 2 tower shots for his trouble. They've chunked it out, but they're not gonna be able to take that turret just yet, thanks to that Xerath ultimate. But now Josh Quest is on the move. Doesn't have his Predator available, but he's walking in. Pull the meek from Budinsko. The healing from that Q means that after the lockup, Josh Quest will be able to take that kill without any issue whatsoever. Ducky's minions didn't have the ultimate available to try to sustain through that burst, and he'll get taken down in the top lane. So 3 kills already over to Random. They've opened up about a 7,000 gold, 7,000, holy, 700 gold lead. Excuse me. The Air Dragon was taken in return over on the side of Spartans. So at least trading so far.
The
Now I'm
Air
seeing...
Dragons actually was taken about 2 minutes ago.
Oh, I thought that was just now. I missed it completely. Apologies there. My co-caster keeping me in line as usual. So Noctron actually has the Blood Razor. I think that's what it's called. The Blood Razor on Xin Zhao. Do you like that pickup more than Warrior, or how are you feeling about it?
So, I'm going to be this one weirdo here. I used to love the old Xin Zhao, and now I can't play the new one to save my life.
Blue Eyes is going to get chunked out just a little bit, but Karma able to dissuade them with the Mantra Q. Ooh, the piercing arrow from Blue Eyes White Dragon able to connect on Soul. Not feeling so comfortable, but does have the Nami there to help top him off.
Anyway, the Blood Razor would definitely fit more my playstyle on him, but seeing just pros and constant high elo players going with either Warrior or occasionally into the bombies.
Right at the Arcane coming out, he lands 2, doesn't hit the 3rd shot onto Josh Quest, but comes through with the Arcano Pulse for the kill. So Hannibal with the solo kill out on the Annie in mid. You were talking a little bit earlier about the push advantage for Xerath later on. Sorry to not let you finish, but now we're fighting in top lane as Dominus and the Bird Bomb both popped. The Demonic Ascension, the proper name of that spell, of course. But altogether, just going to force Ducky's minions back off the wave. It's about a 15 CS advantage for Budinsko. The other lane's not doing as hot. About a 15 CS advantage for Noctron. About 20 in the mid lane for Hannibal. He's going to flash forward for the Kull the Meek, and Budinsko picks up the solo kill in top lane. Now the mid lane under fire as deranged Spartans are here. The Predator being popped on Annie, but they're not going to... Oh, come on, get the... they got the first brick. I don't know that it's going to be worth it now. Jarvan Jacuzzi lands onto Noctron. Hannibal's taken pretty low. Tibbers is just trying to chase him down. Pooh flashes forward for this Chilling Smite. Lands on him. Stun coming out from Annie. The Flag and Drag not able to pick up the kill from Pooh as Noctron's flashing away. Tibbers still in hot pursuit. He gets smited away now as Josh Quest is tanking the tower. I don't think Noctron can quite turn that back on him. But that'll be a really extended one for 0 as Hannibal falls in the mid lane.
They did extend, or they did grab that first brick, just a little mistake, leaving it up with just 1 auto left.
Yeah, had they been able to grab that auto before, like one of the times they canceled it beforehand, I think they both get out of there just fine. But still, that's a trade up the first tower for your mid laner. As Luff is my mid laner here in the chat is willing to admit that.
No, I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it. Essence Reaver completed for the Renekton.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about that. The Essence Reaver Renekton is something I've been wanting to try, but I keep losing his Renekton, so that's been kind of rough. But in theory, you pop your Dominus and you get the Fury W, pop the Dominus, you get another Fury W as soon as that ends, and you should be able to basically stun somebody for a full, I want to say it's 4 seconds on Renekton. Plus it's 6 or 7 auto attacks that you get to weave in there. It's a pretty disgusting little chain. Wouldn't recommend it if you're behind because the investment in that BF sword is a little bit strange on Renekton. Flash forward from Blue Eyes White Dragons. He lands the Chain of Corruption. Kyo's taken really low. Will be taken out by the Piercing Arrow. Heal and Shield going to get him away. Meanwhile, Budinsko And Ducky's minions playing a dangerous game in top lane. Ducky tries to walk forward to farm the minions, and Budinsko jumps on him. Koldameek going to lock him up there. We saw that reset. He got two of the Koldameeks off during that combo and was able to solo out the Swain again.
Yeah, it was, I mean, two cold makes two slice and dices in that. That's Essence Reaver on a head Renekton is scary just as much as it's probably awful on a behind Renekton.
Hannibal's going to get caught just a little bit in between Josh Quest and Pooh. Ultimately, Pooh takes care of that kill with the red buff, I believe. Josh Quest goes ahead and commits the ultimate just to make him feel a little bit better. I don't think he necessarily needed to do that. Soul's going to pick up a turret, though, in bottom, and the turret in top is going to fall to Budinsko as well. So altogether, a pretty big gold swing, and now the Air Dragon also going over maybe to random. It looks like the cross-map play working out pretty nicely for the red team. But that'll be kind of the first significant lead of the game. It'll be about 2,000 now in favor of random. They have the 2-tower to 1 advantage, and they'll have to set their sights now on that mid tower. That's going to be the next big issue that they have to deal with. And there's a pretty strong Xerath waiting for them in mid.
He's at least the Xerath's a little bit farmed. Has a big wave clear item. Provided there's no one that gets into his face, then he'll be safe, but there is a lot of tools to get into his face on the side of random.
Good awareness there by Orbital to go ahead and check that side push. Almost walked into a trap. Blue Eyes White Dragons kind of follows him in there, but lands the Chain of Corruption onto Pooh, Jarvan Jacuzzi onto 2, but it looks like he's separated just from the rest of his team. Noctron and Orbital, the double bubble from Keo, and Josh Quest will pick up one. Soul picks up another as he's following through on that Ezreal. Already has used the Arcane Shift. Gets hit by the Xerath W, forcing him back just a little bit. That Arcana Pulse is starting to stack up the damage, but it's not enough to really zero anybody out at basically any point of the game. Although Josh Quest is making a case for it. Righty the Arcane comes out, misses most of the shots, does manage to connect on one of them. But it will just be that wave clear in mid and not letting them really grasp hold of the map just yet. Budinsko's rotated down now. They really want this mid tower, it looks like, trying to force it down. Soul and Keo are both pretty low against the artillery mage in mid. Happy feet there from Soul as he's able to dodge it out. Dangerous game being played by the bot lane of Random, and they will finally go back.
With the wave clear that Xerath provides, I almost would rather see the Rift Herald taken and then just used to crack that open. Just add the one extra like escort to allow you to dive or get onto the Xerath.
Yeah, it seems like you either need to really commit for a dive and eliminate the Xerath from the map, or grab some other assistance in order to break that open at this point.
Absolutely, it's like the same idea of trying to take mid tower from like an Anivia, as we seem to find a lot of those in Oklahoma.
Pooh and Budinsko and Josh Quest now have claimed the blue side jungle for their own. Soul and Keo are on the opposite side of the map, though. We'll have to see if Spartans... Well, they're standing on top of a ward. Spartans should be aware of this. They may be able to collapse here. I don't know if they can make the best play. Orbital's going to find them with the Inner Spirit. Summon Tibbers, the disengage Tibbers. Not the most common use of that, but it will disengage as the Karma is forced away. Budinsko's on the other side, looking for an opening, but looks like the call is going to be to fall back. They're still not committing to the idea of a Rift Herald, it looks like. Instead, they're going to go ahead, jump onto Blue Eyes White Dragon. They know he doesn't have a flash up. Josh Quest now comes in, doesn't have the ultimate available. They're going to trade 1 for 1 as the Right of the Arcane comes through, landing some more shots. Those are pretty accurate shots down onto Budinsko. Do they actually have the damage to kill him, though, as Orbital gets taken down? Budinsko is a big man. He'll get traded out, though, as both kills going over to Hannibal in the mid lane. And that Xerath doesn't feel like where you want the gold if you're randomed.
Not at all. It was the one that was already ahead, and with at least a little peel, the Karma should be enough, at least for a little bit, to help keep her alive, keep the Xerath alive, keep him clearing waves and chunking you up.
Yeah, you have the Xerath I guess arguably you have the better scaling AD carry as well in Varus over Ezreal. It just feels like Spartans kind of need to try to lose the minimum as they regain their foothold in the game.
Absolutely. Pretty much Random's entire team is early game. Maybe not necessarily the Annie. I don't know what you would consider her scaling. Renekton early game, Ezreal early to mid game. Stronger mid game now than he used to be.
Hannibal is going to get chunked out. Soul with the happy feet, able to dodge all of the Xerath skill shots. Kind of the feast or famine there from Xerath. We've seen him be on pretty much all of those skill shots so far, but when you miss, sometimes that Ezreal just gets to style on you for a little bit.
It's just Spartans, no deranged in front of it.
It's just Spartans? Oh, okay. I had thought that the deranged was keeping on it. I'll go ahead and make that change in between games, though, as we see Pooh a little overextended there on the tower dive. Kill goes over to Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now Noctron trying to jump onto Soul. Gonna force that ultimate away as Budinsko flanks in from the side. Lands the Kolda Meek and all of that damage. The Essence Reaver, Black Cleaver, Renekton, just... that damage output is ridiculous. But he's able to basically solo out the AD carry underneath the tower.
Absolutely, and actually, it looked to me like Josh Quest used his stun on a minion with an empowered or with the Q. They might have been able to pick up a second kill there.
Yeah, it seems like the communication might be just a little bit lacking, specifically around the Annie. We've seen them commit to fights where they want the Tibbers available without having it, and we've seen the Tibbers used in kind of, I don't want to say bizarre situations, but maybe not optimal situations. But regardless, they've got a lead right now. They've got the Infernal Dragon spawning as well. They'll feel pretty good about that. That'll at least give them a little bit of scaling into late game with this team comp. Although here comes right at the Arcane. Not going to be able to pick it up, though, as Pooh does land that smite.
We are starting to see that Xerath damage come out as he's scaling. That was, I only think one shot of the right of the Arcane, maybe two landed on the Nami. And we can see her sitting about 40% health right now.
Yeah, and I will apologize, Hyperloop. I had seen the Spartans listed everywhere. I had just kind of assumed that the DE in front of everything meant deranged, so I went with it. But everything had been officially changed to Spartans prior to that, so I'll make sure to fix everything that I've got that lists that name. I was gonna say what a bro, he's just tanking up the minions so his AD carry can farm them, but then his Cinderhulk actually took the 3 melee minions, so maybe not such a bro move there from Pooh.
He tried.
He tried. Here, we've got a little minute. I'll even fix it on the cast here. I'll just... no more deranged. There we go. Perfect. Live update on the scoreboard. That's the flexibility they hired me for. Anyway, it's 12 kills to 7. Slight gold lead in favor of Randomed right now. And they came into this game 0-2, so probably not super familiar with playing with a lead. We'll have to see if they can be strong to close it out. That's traditionally where... I don't want to say weaker teams, but that's traditionally where bottom of tier teams have difficulty, is actually finishing it out. Pooh gets caught just a little, well, more than a little bit. All 4 members there from Spartans able to surround him. And it's little mistakes like that that can give your opponents a foothold back into the game now. Jungler down. Luckily, no big objective on the map that they can go for right away, but costly pick.
As far as things to keep track of in terms of builds, Ezreal's reached the second tier, picked up just a little bit ago, sitting at 140 stacks right now, or 139. I'm curious to see what Josh Quest actually does with the items in the inventory. We've got the Aether Wisp. Typically, they're going to be looking for like a Lich Bane, or a Shurelia's?
He walks in with the Predator and pays for it by eating the stun from Xerath. Right to the Arcane will pick up the kill for Hannibal. He's up to 6 kills now on the Xerath. Even spots out Budinsko trying to flank in from the side. This Xerath is a big, mean man right now.
Absolutely. I sort of was hoping that he would, with the lead he has, he would actually kind of do a split in his build. Same mentality with the Velkas. Get both your like Oblivion Orb and Haunting guys, so you've got the burn and the flat pen. I don't necessarily know if the gold efficiency of upgrading from Haunting to Leon Grease on its own.
Big map plays going on right now, though, as Spartans commit for that bottom lane tower. In return, it looks like the Baron's going to be started out there, spotted by the Eye of Sauron there from Ducky's minions. Baron's taken down below half now. It looks like Randomed are going to go ahead and commit to this. Swain is the only one available. Carmina and Xerath now just trying to join. Baron taken down to 2k, but Budinsko able to pick up 1 kill on the back end. They've traded 1 for 1 so far. Baron does go down as Pooh's able to secure it. Ooh, 1 for 1 plus the Baron on the side of Random. Flash forward from Hannibal, just trying to land the damage. He spotted out the Jarvan a little bit separated from the team. Arcanopulse not able to land. Now Blue Eyes White Dragon just using the Chain of Corruption to try to buy time. They get the second turret in bot lane as Tibbers is dropped. Orbital flashes over the wall, not able to land the Q onto Keo, able to slow him up. The Ignite gonna tick down, and the right of the Arcane picks up the kill from Hannibal. There's a second. He lands 3 of the 4 shots as Hannibal comes in over the top for the double kill.
This Xerath is popping off. He's got, well, he's going back with 2600, but 70 CS up on the Annie, 3000 gold up on the Annie. If he stays safe, there's no one going to be safe for the side of Random.
And now look at that gold lead. Well, don't look at it right now, but 1 second ago there was a 100 gold lead for Spartans. I'm sure they'll correct that. It was the True Shot Barrage picked up like 7 or 8 minions, so that was enough to swing it. There it is. And it's gone again. All right. Well, regardless, it's an even gold game. We're right back to where we started the game at even. The Xin Zhao build is kind of intriguing to me. The Titanic Hydra looks like a Wit's End going to be next. Do you like those itemization choices?
Certainly, he's going for, well, the Blood Razor indicated he was going to go for a blood hit, or like a non-hit build.
It's certainly interesting. It's not one that I've seen traditionally from Xin Zhao's. Right of the Arcane coming in over the top. We're not watching him hit these shots, so I'm going to assume that he's hitting them and doing a lot of damage, but it's not actually killing. Actually, Josh Quest is really low right now. I don't know that the directed camera was very kind to us there.
That's always been my complaint about it with Xerath ults. Look at the target for us, please, not the Xerath. I'll be curious to see if he goes for like maybe a Gwynsus to get like the double proc of the Titanic Hydra, then the Wit's End. I don't know.
Looks
what
like
he would do if that's
he's
too
opting for
flashy.
some split push right now. We saw him basically by himself in top lane. Now he's going to jump onto Josh Quest here. 3 Talent Strike going to land, knocks up Josh Quest. Another auto not going to be enough to finish him off. The shield from Karma isn't going to save him as Tibbers is able to pick up the kill with the burn. They're going to lose the Air Dragon in response as well.
That's actually really unlucky. The Tibbers burn procced a Ludens once Ludens came off cooldown as a Ludens proc that finished him.
So your answer to that Aether Wisp, by the way, looks like a Spellbinder on the side of Josh Quest.
I forgot that item exists. It does make a little bit of sense as you pop it, you get yourself 100 AP, or excuse me, 80 AP now, and a pretty big chunk of move speed. So combine that with the Predator, you could kind of accomplish the same thing with Shurelya. Well, I guess they didn't nerf Shurelya's.
Yeah, I know that Spellbinder is one of the, or Annie, I guess, is one of the, I don't want to say intended users, but one of the best users of Spellbinder. It's like Annie, Syndra. I can't think of any others off the top of my head. That might be the entire list. In fact, maybe Lysandra.
It may not. I was gonna say it may not be the greatest, but Cassiopeia would do a decent job of stacking to get the 100.
But yeah, I know that it's at least an item that is decent on Annie. I don't have much more info than that, but yeah, now we're gonna kind of chill out for a little bit. I imagine the second Baron should spawn. I don't have my watch out. I think it's about 2 minutes away. So this will probably be just a little bit boring a farm moment for the time being. But you can see the very slight edge still in favor of Spartans, despite a little bit of a disjointed play where they lost their jungler in the Air Dragon. They've managed to maintain that lead, probably through farming, I would guess. Budinsko's by himself in the top lane. Ducky's Minions is actually rejoining his team in mid. So these are, I don't want to say kind of strange lane assignments, but it looks like it's maybe not as clear as it needs to be in both of these chats.
Absolutely. I'm just thinking, it's like, sure, the Xerath can wave clear and ult from a side lane, but you'd rather have your teleport in the side lane.
Yeah, Soul gonna go forward, lands one Mystic Shot. Noctron just pops the Xin Zhao ultimate, I guess for a little bit of safety for his AD carry. They wanted to make sure the Predator Annie wasn't able to land anything. But now this has brought us back to the impasse. Everybody grouped up in mid. Actually, all 10 members are here, despite teleports being available. Jarvan Jacuzzi comes through, tries to lock up Hannibal, but that's not a target that he wants. Budinsko gets into the backline, able to solo out the AD carry. They've traded one back. Now Noctron in a little bit of trouble, but Hannibal is still alive, outputting damage from the side. Bird Bomb should come through here in just a second. Double kill now for Hannibal as Budinsko gets locked up on the backside of that. Soul able to trade one back. Arcane shifts forward, tries to find Orbital. Again, Hannibal is still alive on the outside though. Arcano Pulse comes through, not able to find the stun. Orbital gets chunked down. Flash forward and Arcane shift from Soul as he picks up one. Comet now not going to pick it up, but the burn from the Leandries will even it up, and it's a 4 for 3 all told. Budinsko, actually pretty much the entire team went after Hannibal initially, but he flashed off to the side of that fight, and it looked like they weren't able to find him again on a re-engage. They opted just to go ahead and dive and pick up the Varus, but you saw the damage come through from Hannibal at the back end of that fight.
Yeah, Hannibal actually that entire time still had his Zhonya's available. It was not in really any danger outside of the I have no more mana to cast spells.
But yeah, we saw the big damage from the Renekton being poured onto the poor Varus underneath tower. He's just trying to scale the late game, guys. He's got his third item finished up though, that Infinity Edge. Compared, it looks like about 3, well, I don't want to say 3.5. It's an almost completed Blade of the Ruined King 4th item for Soul.
Yep, you're sitting 500, yeah, 500 gold away from the completed 4th on Soul.
He's actually, oh, I guess he doesn't have it just yet, because the combined cost is a little more than I think it is.
They did, I thought they lowered the cost of it to 3,200 total. Ooh.
Oh, well, Blue Eyes White Dragon just trying to fight Soul, it looks like, and does not get the better end of that trade whatsoever. The Archangel Shield able to buy him enough time. Yeah, the Seraphs, excuse me. Basically means that he takes almost no damage from that fight. That was not as close as you would think. Bubble not able to connect onto Hannibal though. Pooh is just hanging out over the wall. Does get the knock up there onto Hannibal, not going to allow him to get all of the right of the arcane. Pooh commits, going to go ahead and Jarvan Jacuzzi onto Orbital. Now the Renekton flying into the backline, trying to stun up one. Karma does fall, as does Budinsko. Is Noctron able to help secure that kill? I guess Ducky's Minions is actually the one that picked it up. Now Soul and Pooh forced away. Josh Quest wasn't there at all.
Josh Quest was getting forced up by the right of the arcane. He was sitting there with about under 100 health. If Hannibal had been able to get one more shot off, that would have hit. Would have been a dead Annie.
That's a spicy dragon coming up. Another Infernal. Ooh, Hannibal taking pretty low. Soul trying to make his play. The Summon Timbers. That was kind of weird. It didn't look like it actually stunned with the stun proc up, but it's going to pick up the kill regardless for Josh Quest, his 5th of the game.
Looks like Josh cast it a little early.
Oh, that might have been it. Blue Eyes White Dragon doesn't connect on the Chain of Corruption, and Soul's able to find him out. Soul is like, man, I'm the big boy. I'm scaling here on Ezreal. Don't forget about the late game Ezreal with the double tier build. And that'll be a second Infernal Dragon going over to Randomed. Budinsko's actually going to commit the teleport as well. They don't have the Xerath available. They might be able to actually get this mid tower.
I was incorrect. I saw a red marker in front of Baron, and I thought Soul actually stole the Scuttle Crab that Noctron was doing. I was wrong.
Anyway, second Baron's going to be started up now by Randomed. I don't think that Spartans have a response to this just yet. They are completely aware of it now when Noctron's over the wall. He gets spotted on a ward, though. Summon Tipper's not able to completely finish him off. He's got about 1,500 health left on Baron. They're going to stop damage. Right at the Arcane! Steals the Baron from Hannibal!
I'm a biased mid laner, and you know I'm rooting for the Xerath here hard. Being a Fed Xerath is enjoyable, and those are the plays that make his ult so satisfying.
The jungler dead, not able to contest, and the mid laner comes through in the clutch for Spartans. They're able to secure their first Baron of the game, and hopefully, I don't want to say a little bit more time to scale, but they're not at a. It's hard. It feels like they're at such a deficit right now, but they're not. They're pretty much even in gold. Yeah.
It's just so much of that gold is in Hannibal's pockets. It's
Pooh's going to find Hannibal, gets the knockup onto him. Chain of Corruption able to lock up Pooh in response. He'll go down without too much of a fight now. Budinsko trying to get onto the Xerath. They're all diving one by one after the Xerath, but it's not enough. Soul, meanwhile, on the backline has just torn through that Swain. Right of the Arcane comes through, lands 2 shots onto Keo to take him down. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far, as they've lost the Swain. Oh, it's a 1-for-2, excuse me. The Swain, the Jarvan, and the Nami all going down in that fight. Now a small push available for Spartans as they're trying to get this tower. It's not super healthy, so you'd imagine they're able to pick this up. Turret, oh, it just went down off of the screen. Soul comes forward. That's a lot of damage. I don't think Blue Eyes White Dragon is respecting that Ezreal damage at all. Flash forward, though, from Hannibal. The burn from the Leandries plus the Luden's proc able to pick up the kill. Now Soul, Arcane shifts forward, tries to go for the 1v1, but Hannibal able to pick up that kill. He's got 15 kills now on the Xerath.
Nope, never mind. I was about to say he's the first to level 18, but Budinsko's also been sitting there at level 18 for a little bit.
Yeah, Budinsko has been in that side lane trying to make things happen, but he just hasn't had enough time on that split push, it seems like. The top lane turret, the outer turret falls as well, so that's 5 towers now in favor of Spartans. It's about a 2,000 gold lead. That's their biggest gold lead of the game now. Right at the Arcane pop to take the blue buff from his teammates. I got you. Across the map. Worth noting, that's a clean Flame Horizon in the mid lane now for Hannibal over Josh Quest.
Full builds completed here for Hannibal and for Soul. Still about an item and a little bit less than a half for Budinsko. He hasn't based and sitting on 1,300. He's about to get his Starix gauge.
Yeah, that feels like the big fight right now is the showdown between the Xerath and the Ezreal. We saw Hannibal come out just a little bit ahead on that one in the mid lane just a minute or two ago. I'm excited to see the rest of this fight now. That was just one Arcano pulse. That was 60-75% you'd say of Nami's health. She's getting healed back up, but dang.
That spell's on is on a under 3-second cooldown.
So where do you want to see Spartans go now? We have no neutral objectives up for either of them. Do you want to see an aggressive play now from either team, or are we just going to wait to fight over the third Baron?
If I were Spartans, you either protect your flanks and try to shove down a tower just to let Hannibal just get his free poke on every couple seconds, just chunk people out and take towers, because there's not a great amount of wave clear, and he's not the greatest wave clear. The Ezreal, I guess, has pretty decent CER on the queue, but it's still Ezreal wave clear.
Looks like we had kind of a party bush set up. Budinsko's teleport isn't quite available, so they didn't want to commit to that just then, but I liked the idea behind the setup, getting around the flank on the Varus and Xerath combo.
So
Infernal Dragon's going to spawn. Actually, Noctron going to not give us any time. The 3 Talent Strike knocks up Pooh, forces him to commit to it. Jarvan is going to fall. Soul and Hannibal dueling kind of on the backside. The teleport comes through onto the Tibbers.
that's actually Elder Drake.
But I said Infernal. I meant Elder.
Oh, okay,
I had that in my head. I don't know why I mix those up sometimes in my brain, but
They both sound like they're gonna hurt.
yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, Cloud Drake, you're just gonna take a nap, you know?
Yeah,
Or
it's
Ocean,
nice.
it's
It's
gonna
nice and fluffy, despite doing the most damage of any dragon. I'm not sure how to make that funny, but I'm getting the image of somebody like, the clouds are hurting me. Elder Dragon is going to be started up now by Spartans, and they're going to turn the Karma Mantra E. Actually, Noctron jumps onto Josh Quest. I don't know that that's the target he necessarily wants. He doesn't have the ultimate available, but he does solo out the Annie, basically. Ducky's Minions tries to go in with the Demonic Ascension. At least get some health back off of that, and now Noctron turns back onto the Elder Dragon. Spartans looking to try to regen. Blue Eyes White Dragon and Noctron not particularly healthy now. Budinsko jumps in, as does Pooh onto the other side. Already a kill onto the enemy jungler. Blue Eyes White Dragon is just trapped in the Jarvan pit, and Ducky's Minions doesn't have flash available. He's just trapped in the back of this Dragon pit right now. Dragon goes down to about 500 health, but it's secured by Pooh. And the kill over to Soul as well. Hannibal, worth noting, is still alive. The flash away from the E from Soul. The WQ combo basically solos him out. Orbital gets an auto attack just for his trouble. That Elder Dragon is burning down so hard, though. Zanya's is just going to buy a little bit of time, but Pooh should... Oh, the sidestep on everything. Hannibal trying to make his play. He's going to eventually fall to the auto attack. The healing from Kyo just proving a little bit too much. The ace now for randomed, and all 5 members are alive. They're in differing states of health and position on the map, but they're all alive as the Baron spawns with 3 seconds. Well, it's going to spawn in 3 seconds is the words that I'm trying to connect together. Noctron is alive. I don't know that he can get here in time, though. I'm going to pan up just to get the health bar here. Hopefully nothing important happens. Teleport in from Annie just to try to burst this a little more. Yeah, Noctron's not going to get anywhere near. And the third Baron of the game goes over to randomed. That's their second. They have the Elder Dragon with 4 stacks on it, burning as well. You have to feel like this is where they have to make a play to win the game.
Absolutely. You have yourself now about like a minute window before the Elder times out, and another 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes 45 seconds on the Baron. So look to fight early if you see someone caught out. I don't know whether that's just you let Annie pop her. She's got 100 stacks on her Spellbinder right now. Looks like is that built into this rot in her inventory?
Probably a Banner of Command, just because it's Troll right now.
Yeah, well, you'd think Banner, but we've got a Locket and Banner in Pooh's inventory. I'm just wondering what the Raptor's Cloak goes to.
Oh, for some reason I'm blanking out the Raptor's Cloak in my head. Yeah, that's a Zerat as far as I know.
Oh, I bet you she's going for the move speed from towers. That's the logic. That'd be my guess.
Do we see the Ohm Wrecker? There's enough towers available that it's almost worthwhile.
Nah.
What does Ohm Wrecker even build out of? Does anybody know anymore? Josh Quest is in a little bit of trouble. He lands the 2-man summon Tibbers, but Noctron able to spot him out and pick up the kill. That'll be just his second of the game on that Xin Zhao. But you can see the damage coming through. But here's the Baron Elder stack team coming through mid. That is a Baron Cannon minion. But Noctron's going to jump onto Budinsko. He's getting chunked out stairs. Gage is popped. Now Pooh trying to jump in on the other side. Not able to find the combo onto Varus. Budinsko does pick up the kill onto Noctron. Ducky's minions gets up close and personal on the Swain. Jarvan Jacuzzi still available as he lands it onto 2. The True Shot Barrage just layered beautifully over top of that, picks up 1. Soul's taken so low, but he is still alive now on the back end of this. Hannibal is left alive. They do pick up the turret. That Bannered Cannon minion is still alive though. Now Blue Eyes White Dragon able to pick up the kill on that. But the re-engage from Pooh and Soul, able to layer the True Shot Barrage on top of the Jarvan Jacuzzi, meant that re-engage was super successful. And, I mean, I don't want to call it a cross-map 2-for-2. The fight was 2-for-1 at a disadvantage for Spartans, and Josh Quest was just kind of a free pick on the other side. But right now it looks like the team fight's just very slightly in favor of Randomed.
So I guess I don't know what banner builds out of anymore, because Annie does have a banner.
Yeah, I was going to say I thought that the Raptor Cloak was there, but I don't. I built it.
Well,
I built it
I guess she's
the
a
one
mid-
competitive
yeah,
game to troll on Shen, and I haven't built it since then. So.
Did they change the path since we had the scrim against Compton? That was when they were a team?
Yeah.
So that was just League of Banners. That wasn't fun.
Yeah, that was a miserable time. And then it happened again briefly last week, but it looks like that's figured itself out. Another Bannered Canyon minion goes down in mid lane. Looks like Spartans were able to clean that up with relative ease. Lost a little bit of damage on the inhibitor tower, but given what was invested, that's pretty worthwhile. Soul and... Oh, Josh Quest flashes forward for the Tibbers, able to land it, but not able to pick up enough damage. Ducky's minions picks up the kill. Looks like Spartans are just a little bit more grouped together as Budinsko jumps in. That's a huge shield coming down. They will pick up 1 though, as Soul able to turn that back around. But again, it's the trade. Ducky's minions flashes forward. Pooh is nowhere to be found during this fight, by the way. He's recalling in bottom. That'll be the double kill going over to Blue Eyes White Dragon, and that should be a push now for Spartans. Ooh, Hannibal almost found that True Shot Barrage with his face, but was able to dodge it out at the last second.
Very interesting decision to fight there. Pooh was not in the fight, but there was a massive minion wave that had to be dealt with, and apparently they gave it to Pooh.
Yeah, I mean, Pooh's sitting on full build. You would think that Annie is really the person that needs to farm. On the other side...
Technically full build because he's got control wards in the last slot.
Yeah. On the other side, looks like Noctron and Ducky's minions still need to finish up their last item. And then the supports... I just don't really care about full build on my support, honestly. If you have control wards, that's good enough for me. Maybe that's a little haughty of me.
You could
bring back season 2
sell your
Warpods.
support item and use that for control wards if you think resistances would help.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I feel like you still need the regular words at some point. But I guess we'll see. Another banner dropped. Yeah, that's 2 banners on the side of Randomed right now and none for Spartans. So the wave management burden is a little bit on Spartan's side right now. Again, are you going to stand by the scaling of Spartans now that we've hit late game and
We've
seen
hit
these two fights?
such a late game and seen, like, there's been people out of position nonstop. What we need to pay attention to is going to be this next minute 30. See what the setup is. See what the priority is. Is it Elder Drake? Is it Baron? You don't want a second Elder.
Yeah, this is second Elder. It's going to be more valuable on Randomed and more valuable to deny probably than for Spartans. The Baron is, you know, the 4th Baron of the game, but it feels almost like a consolation prize compared to the Elder Dragon that's coming up.
Absolutely. A double Elder to the double Infernal, double Cloud. Probably my 2 favorite Drakes in the game. Definitely. Infernal is pretty much everyone's favorite. Give me just one moment.
But anyway, Randomed setting up now around that Infernal Drake. There's no vision at all really pushed up on either side from Spartans. I'm really concerned about this setup now. They finally pushed some into their blue side jungle, but there's nothing near the Baron. There's nothing near that Infernal or the Elder Dragon, excuse me. So this is definitely a difficult situation for Spartans to be in. Randomed look like they've choked them out of vision. And they're going to start up on the Infernal Dragon as soon as it spawns, it looks like. So tense moment. Do they have the timer on it? Are they going to go trade Baron? Eye of Sauron coming out does spot the damage. It looks like Ducky's Minions is going to try for the steal. He had the opportunity there. It went down to 400, but it is going to be secured now for Randomed. So that double Infernal, or the double Elder, excuse me, is burning. You can see how bright and fiery they all are. And that means that you do not want to fight this team. For those of you who don't really read patch notes, the double Infernal gives you double burn and double bonuses on all of your dragons that you have. So
I thought it was almost like triple burn. Like wasn't like the burn damage for the first Elder 35? Is this gonna get stolen again?
Right of the Arcane comes through. It's chunking it out. Noctron is here. Uses the Xin Zhao ultimate to go in. He steals it. So they have a Baron. They lost their jungler in the process, though, and the Infernal Dragon team is coming down mid lane for him on a 5v4. Or not. They don't have any minions. So we're going to go grab the minions, and then we'll come back. They are wasting time on this Infernal, though. It's only about a quarter gone. That's actually slower than I thought it would be, but Soul goes forward. Look at the burn damage just coming down onto Orbital as he gets chunked by just one Mystic shot. Lockup goes down onto Soul. He's able to cleanse it away. Budinsko gets caught by the Chain of Corruption out on the side, but they're not able to continue aggressing. Again, still a man down, pretty much 2 men down now as Orbital's back in the fountain trying to heal it up. Predator was popped from Annie during that, trying to get in. Looks like pretty much every ultimate's going to be back available here in a second. So the Chain of Corruption going to be the only major ultimate down. Right of the Arcane coming out from Hannibal just for some chunk damage. Finds it onto Soul. That was a little bit more than chunk damage. But not able to find anything permanent onto him. Gets pulled in by the Swain passive, but now Pooh goes forward, lands the Jarvan Jacuzzi. Budinsko gets onto Blue Eyes White Dragon. They're able to pop the 80 carry without him being able to respond, and Hannibal falls as well. This looks like the team fight that Random needed as they pick up kills on both of the carries to start with. Xin Zhao's finally able to rejoin, but it looks like it's just going to be too late as Budinsko able to clean it up. The double kill for Soul as they go down onto the inhibitor tower now. I think that should be the game now with 60-second death timers. That was just a beautifully orchestrated team fight from Random. Actually, there's the surrender as well. If you're still available, Wing, talk me through that last team fight just a little bit.
Well, Hannibal got just slightly out of position after trying to chunk out Soul, pop the GA. Did not land enough right of the Arcane shots. Really only landed one. Almost killed Soul, or at least popped the GA off of just the single shot. Kind of got slowed down and then just ran down by the Pooh Budinsko initiation. And Soul was kind of face tanked a lot in that last fight, but was putting out a huge amount of damage. And then Josh Quest was actually there and not blown up the start of a fight, so provide a little bit of extra crowd control. And we did stall this game out 52 minutes with a double elder. Even if the Annie is behind in Flame Horizon, she's still going to do a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'll be game number 1 going over to Randomed. Do you have a game MVP for me?
Probably would have to be, man. I'd say Soul, but Budinsko also put in an extremely good performance. Probably would have to give it to the Ezreal though. Was able to stay relevant late game.
I definitely agree. He was winning his backline versus Spartan's frontline fights basically single-handedly. So, I definitely agree with that. Big shout out to Hannibal. That was a monster performance on Xerath. I hope that he can. I hope the tilt isn't there for game number 2 because that performance in pretty much any other game just wins it outright. And yeah, That's a tough one. But yeah, MVP game number one is going to be Soul. We're going to step aside for uh, probably about 3 to 5 minutes here. I'm going to go move some laundry really quick in in the middle of everything, and we'll load up game number two. So don't go anywhere. This is LeagueKC Summer Split Platinum League, casted by Marismatic and Wing Nation.